Hey, hey, hey. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. Testing one, two, three. Testing one, two, three. Testing one, two, three. Testing one, two, three. Can y'all hear me? Hey y'all, listen up. We are here. Real Talk with Real Woman Grinding. It's been a minute, but I missed you. And it's only fitting that we do crank it up and start it in May because it is Mental Health Awareness Month. Hello, hello, hello. And I am super duper excited because this next guest is near and dear to me. If you guys haven't seen my post, she's my little sister. And when I tell you, she has always had the heart to serve or help someone, it's just, you can see the light in her, all right? And so she has that attraction that brings people from all different walks of life, north, south, east, west, very diverse, and I just be like, what? So as my time and knowing her and growing with her and seeing her growth, it has been quite amazing to see how the gift that she has been given, she has taken on and accepted the challenge to put it forth towards something that's way big in this world today. And we're talking about mental health, right? Mental health is so important, it's so invaluable. The awareness that it brings, get people educated to know what's going on with them. I do know for certain in the last 2 years that a lot of people have experienced what it's like to have this mental illness or have a mental diagnosis or have days where they feel sad. And so one of the things that we're going to talk about is the difference between feeling sad and being depressed. That part, it is a difference. And as an entrepreneur, we have lots of distractions. I posted that, suicide, depression, all these different thoughts, anxiety is a part of what most of us go through, right? And if we do not have an outlet to share it, to talk about, the mental will start to affect the physical. And once that starts to happen, what are you going to do if you're not able to grind and continue to run your business? You're not going to be able to do anything. That's why they talk about health is the new wealth. If you talk about the wellness, it all begins with the mind as well as the physical. So you have to have that mindset to have your mind right. So mental health versus mental illness, because hey, sad and depression, there's some different spectrums with that. But I'm not the person that knows this thing, so I'm going to move myself out of the way and bring up my wonderful little sister. Yay! So you guys put in the chat, clap it up for this young entrepreneur, this young go-getter, my sister, y'all. Ooh, Lord.
Hey.
Growth, the journey. So check it out. I'll introduce to some and reintroduce to others, none other than Miss LaPortia Jackson. She's amazing. She's still serving in our U.S. Army as a captain. So not only does she wears the hat of being a leader in one of the greatest clubs or gangs in the world, that be U.S. Army Hood, she is also a licensed associate
Counts.
counselor. There we go. That LAC. And her journey going through this process has been very, watching from the outside, like, wow, I did not know they had to go through all of this stuff behind the scenes. But the fact that any person who goes through all the things that they need to get through to do what they want to do, which they have a passion for, which God has given them to do, shows value by itself. So I'm going to be quiet now, and I'm going to let my sister introduce who she is and what she has going on. All on you, boo.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. As she stated, Mental Health Awareness Month, the month of May. Awesome month. But for myself, as she stated, LaPortia Jackson, I'm a captain in the United States Army, Next month, it will be 19 years that I've been in the military, 1 year to that 20-year mark. My journey to being a licensed therapist has been long and tedious. One reason due to military obligations. So college, I had to go through and get my bachelor's, which I got in psychology. Then I had to go through and get my master's, which I got in clinical mental health counseling. Then I had to do my intern, 2 residencies, and then you have to test to get your license, be a licensed therapist. And with all of that, it hasn't been like a straight path for me because I had to leave. I deployed to Iraq. I left for Guatemala. I was living in Germany. So it was a lot that took me out of the realm of being able to just practice it. Um, but guess what? I made it. And I'm very, very grateful. And one thing I would like to say is it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there, as long as you get there. So, and I thank everyone for all the support. Janae is one that supported me. Crystal, who is also Major Brown, and also want to support me throughout this journey. So, thank you to everyone. Although I've been in the military 19 years and I absolutely positively love it, I'm actually a medical service officer in the military. I don't have a concentration on mental health. I'm now a commander and, like I said, medical service officer. And it's just a lot of things that fall under that realm, but I don't focus on mental health. But since I am a licensed therapist and I am a mandated reporter, I am never not a therapist, just like I am never not a soldier, even when I'm not in uniform. So just when we got off this call, I actually have to call a soldier. They still come to me. My soldiers came to me yesterday because they want me to reach out to one of my soldiers who having some issues, to reach out to her and talk to her. So, going back into May, being Mental Health Awareness Month, there are 2 reasons I love this month. One, because it's very important for us to be aware of mental health. Two, because it's my birthday month. So, absolutely, love this month. And May was deemed Mental Health Awareness Month back in 1949. So a lot of us probably thinking, oh, I didn't know that, or I didn't know, or it just became known to me maybe a year or two ago. And I believe that's because back in 1949, leading up to now, to the early 2000s into 2022, a lot of people were not taking mental health or mental illness seriously. And I'm going to focus on mental health. And I know, like Janae said, we'll talk about the difference, or I'll talk about the difference. Focus on mental health. We didn't take it seriously because we were like, okay, I'm going to go on about my day. I'm sad, or I'm angry, or I may have depression or whatever's going on with me, but I'm just going to count or attribute that to everyday life. But now we are seeing a lot of suicides. We are seeing a lot more of individuals who we can see and identify like, I think they may have bipolar disorder, maybe schizophrenic. I'm not going to go into all of the diagnosis, but one thing I would like to say about bipolar disorder, a lot of people get that wrong. We see someone that's happy one day and then they're mad tomorrow. People say, oh, they have bipolar. That's definitely not what bipolar disorder is. But like I said, I have right here on me the DSM, super thick. So we will not go through all of the diagnosis on today, but I will touch and hit on a couple of the disorders. I know Janae specified she wanted to hit on SAD and depression. So, Janae, did you have to ask me questions, or you wanted me to keep going?
No, good. I want you to hit on SAD versus depression.
Okay. Well, first I'm gonna go back into mental health and mental illness. So with mental health, it includes our emotional, our psychological, and our social well-being. It affects how we think, how we feel, how we act, just like overall physical health. You go see the doctor to make sure you're in good physical health. We all love going to the doctor, getting our labs, and he's saying, hey, you're good to go, you're great. Well, that's the same thing with mental health. It's your overall mental well-being. And it determines how we handle stress, how we relate to others, and how we make our choices. So the mental health is the health and welfare of our mental state, of our mind. Now, mental illness is the health-related condition that involves the changing in our emotions, our thinking, our behavior, and or a combination of those things. It's associated with distress and problems functioning. Some people have problems functioning in their workplace, in their home, in their community, or in their families. So that's really the difference between mental health and mental illness. Mental health, making sure we have the overall well-being of our mind. Mental illness, making sure if there isn't mental illness there, that we are working on that and getting that handled for whatever it may be. Because once again, the DSM that I just showed you all that was this thick, there are a plethora of different disorders and diagnoses. So when it comes to sad and depression, a lot of times we're sad. We hear someone pass away. We're like, oh, that's sad. We see on the news someone pass away. We have no idea who they are, and we're sad. It affects us because we know that that person's family is hurting. Being sad, technically, sad is seasonal affective disorder. So it's something that occurs at the same time every year. We as people just term it sad when we feel some type of way about a certain situation. We say, oh, I'm sad. But sad is a seasonal affective disorder that is in the DSM. So you're probably thinking, oh, well, I was sad because so and so died. I don't think that's a disorder. You're right, it's not, but it's just a term we use as everyday people that we're sad, not really knowing that, hey, sad is a seasonal affective disorder. So we're sad because at that moment we're affected by what has happened with someone we know. Now, depression is defined by depressed mood or depression or up and down elevation of our mood, and that's when it leads to depression. Now, with depression, and as I stated, I don't want to go deep into diagnosis and into the DSM, but depression falls under depressive disorder, which there are a multitude of depressive disorders as well. But with depression, it's characterized by an event or something that has happened. So when it's a depression, you can be depressed and then not be a depressive disorder because it's defined by how long you're having these symptoms, how long these symptoms last, and how it's progressing and how it's affecting you in your everyday work, school, community, and within your family. But you still can seek therapy for being depressed. So this is when we're trying to stop it before it gets out of hand when we're depressed. Because now I'm depressed because I've lost a loved one, which this was based off of grief. So instead of me getting the root of it, that grief handled, I'm depressed every day, 3 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's been 2 years. You have now gone into a state of major depressive disorder because now it's been going on a few hours a day for 7 days a week for 2 hours. And that's how it's all determined by what the disorder is, determined about how long it lasts. When you're depressed due to a situation, I want to say maybe ending a relationship, but everyone bounces back differently. If I end a relationship, I may only be depressed for 2 weeks. Like after those 2 weeks, I'm fine. Some may be depressed for a year. So now they've reached their mark where, hey, I've been depressed for 4 hours a day, 2 days a week for 4 years. For 1 year. So it's depression and it's a depressive disorder, but it's not major depressive disorder. But depression is something that a lot of us do have. A lot of people have it, and it can be situationally based. It can be seasonally based. It can be based off of being told that we have some type of medical condition. So, medical conditions can as well trigger mental health conditions. And now you've gone into a depressive state due to being told some information, that's going to be disheartening. And you want to make sure that you focus on that, be aware of that, and with it, you want to make sure you take that step before it does escalate or get to that point of now it's harder for me to seek help, harder for me to feel better, harder for me to have any type of happiness at this point in my life. You will by seeking therapy. And whether you come day 1, day 30, year 1, year 5, just taking that first step is the most important thing. Identifying and becoming self-aware that, hey, I think I'm depressed. And guess what? If you come to therapy, every time you come to therapy, we have to do, there has to be a diagnosis day 1. And if you come in and you tell the therapist everything you've been going through, like, hey, I think I'm depressed because this has happened, and then we evaluate you, you may not need to be seen for depression. You may be okay. And we say, oh, yeah, no, that doesn't fall under the realm of a depressive disorder. But in turn, it could say, hey, yes, it does. But when it comes to that, if you want to continue therapy because you're like, hey, I want to see someone. And just another example, I just got referred a client today, and it's actually a 14-year-old teenager. And her mother said she just needs to talk. And that's absolutely fine because a lot of us just need to talk because of what we're feeling, because we are sad or we are depressed or we're suffering from depression. And either way, like, you can just come to therapy. Like I said, that DSM, that book is this thick. There are so many different illnesses, disorders, things that are going on within us that we don't identify, or we think, oh no, it doesn't affect me, or I shouldn't seek therapy because that's not, going on with me. But there are a lot of things. And if you just reach out, a lot of therapists do 15-minute consultations for free. If you just want to get an idea of what you could be feeling, could be going through, and just to start it and have that starting point of where you want to go.
Woo-hoo! Listen, I'm sorry, I didn't give y'all the you better have your pen, your pencil, pen, paper, ready to take some good notes, because the gems my sister is dropping are phenomenal and amazing. Like, I didn't even know SAD was in the DSM book. I've been all in that book. I did not know, but I do. As you was telling us, I was actually navigating it down and writing a note. Just an example, like how grief, if you do not get a handle on your grief, how it can extend out. And then the next thing you know, you've fallen into that depressive state in that period. And then now you're meeting the requirements. Like you said, there is requirements. You can feel depressed, but that doesn't mean necessarily that you're diagnosed as being depressive. You have to do it. So I don't know if you guys caught that. So knowing that, yes, that is a part of that big book, which I did not know, and it can very well lead you on a path to depression. But however, being able to speak with someone, the example of just having that young lady being able to speak, to say, I just want to have someone to talk to. Hey, adults, if a 14-year-old can do it, you can do it too. And we're not talking about your best friend. We're not talking about going on their couch. Now, mind you, our best friends, our sisters, our family, they are great. But there are some things that you don't even want to tell them, that you need to just let it all out and be able to have someone just to sit there and listen to you while you're talking about it. And then not tell you what you think you want to hear.
Yes. And no judgment. No judgment zone.
That part. Because no, they have nothing. They're not invested in you. They're not going to judge you. And they don't see you. They don't do you. But we have love for each other. But then it'd be like, girl, did you really do that? No, you didn't. In the back of our heads, like, she did. Lord. But so that part, so that is absolutely very encouraging. And I love Kiki, that's Keisha Whitaker, one of my classmates, things, she's being real all the way about it. She talks about her journey being going through mental health, and she's saying therapists are way better communicators. Texting, being on a call, it's been a positive change. I love it. And so being able to take advantage of that and know that it's okay, because we have that stereotype where it wasn't okay. We have that stereotype in the military. We have that stereotype in African American families. You girl, get up out that bed, go clean up that room, or go do your chores. You ain't feeling no kind of way. Get up, just check it out, go outside, whatever the case may be. 14, talking about you need to talk it out. What you need to talk about? You don't even pay no bills. What? You know, I know. Listen, I'm not the only one. I'm not. So be real about it. But I want to know from you and the audience. Go ahead and put it in the chat if you knew there was a difference between mental illness and having a mental diagnosis. You know, you see something?
I didn't see the comments. It was on private chat. I was like, I don't have any.
She's like, I just see that aha moment. She's like, oh, this is how you do it first. So, yes, and it's not done. So, I really love the gems that you have dropped so far because it is okay. One is okay. It's now to debunk the stereotypes and that you can talk it out. And knowing that she is in the military, she's a leader in the military, and she's still helping soldiers. That don't necessarily have to be her soldiers either, but knowing that she's helping, doesn't that? It does such an amazing thing. And she still works her full time job, right? So, with all of that, you have the heart to even branch out on your own. Yes, yeah. You know, she told y'all about her journey and the obstacles and the military and the obligations, but now she's come, she's not arrived yet, she's still pushing through. She's not done. You're a part of a board that's about empowering girls, right? That's just one of the many things of the hats you wear. Now you're pushing forward and you're working on empowering minds. Tell us a little bit about what that means, empowering minds.
Okay, so Empowering Minds Counseling, sometime in the near future or future, I will be opening. It's like I don't want to put the full nugget out there, but the name is Empowering Minds Counseling. And when it comes to therapy, indoor counseling, a lot of times, as she just stated, we have the stigma like, I'm not going to go to therapy, I'm not going to go counseling, I don't need counseling, nothing's wrong with me. So with the ones that do want to make that step, so the minds part of it, mental health is, cliche, it's our mind. And with the empowering, it takes a lot for a person to admit they need therapy. It takes a lot for me to admit I need therapy, and I'm a therapist. So I want to let women and men know that you can take that first step. You can be empowered. It is within you. But sometimes we need help processing that. We need that person that knows how to help pull those strengths from us, that power that is within us, to let us see it. And then the light bulb comes on like, oh, wow, I did already have that resource. Because let me tell you, we do not fix people. We are not mechanics. We do not fix people. Therapists don't fix people. We're going to empower you. We're going to bring the tools. We're going to bring the resources, or we're going to pull them out of you that you already have, or that's already within your network, your circle, your support system. So I want you to know that you can be empowered. So Empowering Minds is working with the therapist, us working together, and you saying that together we can still be empowered together, because as I'm empowering you, you're empowering me as well. You're learning from me and I'm learning from you. I'm also helping the next client that I see, and you're able to help the next person that you see. And one thing I like to say, and I told Crystal this not long ago, is to pay it forward. And I feel doing this job is paying it forward, because I'm helping the future. I'm helping your future children, grandchildren in the world. We all see every day the people that are struggling, suicide. They didn't wake up one day and decide, they want to commit suicide. They have been sad. They have been depressed. They have been holding in some of the anxieties and worries and whatever's been going on in their life, and not talking to anyone about it. So I want you to know, with Empowering Minds, it's a place where I want clients to come and to see me. And I will also go out to different places and go out and speak and just empower the youth, the adults, like not age specific, not gender specific, because depression, mental health, mental illness, it does not have a respect to persons. Like, anyone can suffer from a mental illness. Actually, 1 in 5 adults suffer from mental illness. So it's something that I want everyone to know, that everyone and anyone can be empowered. It's in you. just come see a therapist, come see me. And we can help bring those resources out and to help empower you and process it.
Listen, y'all see that Empowering Minds counseling coming
Come see
soon, coming soon. So there was
with
a
the
lot
Z. With the
with
Z.
the what? What'd you say?
With the Z.
Oh, look, that's
It's
important.
specific.
Listen, that's important. It's all about the brand, y'all. I can't wait to wear my T-shirt. Can y'all feel it? Listen, because one, Empowering Minds, and when she was telling me about it, I was really like taken away because it doesn't even have that connotation of where it feels like it's degrading for you to go see a therapist. Because I always say the worst enemy is your inner me, your mind. It's the greatest muscle that we have. It does so much, but it also can put us in a place where we don't need to be,
Yeah.
period. And when you get into your mind, and I'm going to just speak by my own personal experiences now, y'all probably like, girl, your sister's a therapist. How the hell do this? And Linda, I told y'all, it's a thing, because even your closest relatives and the closest people to you, you still feel some kind of way about sharing or even wanting to open up. It's hard. And so your mind gets all up in your way talking about you shouldn't or you can and all this other stuff. And so with that being said, it is amazing to see that she named her future Empowering Mind because it's all about empowering what's up here. Because if you start here, boy, everything else seems like would just fall into tow. It's like half the battle is won because half the struggle is dealing with our own personal thoughts and what we're struggling with and how we're feeling and so much more that goes with it, right? And so I loved it because I was like, yes, this is feeling. I'm like, if I'm looking for somebody to talk to, I want someone that's gonna empower me, period. That's not gonna make me feel any kind of way from coming to see them. And I'm gonna sport the shirt and be like, you need to go talk to them too.
Yeah. Here, coming soon.
My D. So Sissy, we have had a great conversation, and I know we only do our segment for 30 minutes, but I really do want to ask you one more question. You have been through ups, downs, challenges, but yet I can hear the passion. I'm pretty sure everybody else can hear the passion in your voice, period. The education, the knowledge. I'm talking like you're that person that you want them to come to your school and talk about it. We want to come share with our children what you just shared with us because they'll listen. The way you captured everyone, you can tell, and we need that. We need that in our lives. We need that in our children's lives. And so anybody that's out there in the school district, hello, see Little Rock School District.
I do go to the schools and see the children. I'm at 5 schools right now.
See there? Mona Higgins, I saw that you put out there, he works with children every day. So he gets to see that more and more people more and more children, I'm going to put it back up there. But he said more of our youth have more to deal with. So that old thing of age old of, hey, go, you're not paying no bills, what you got to be distressed about, all this other stuff. We don't know. We're not walking in their shoes. We ain't been to school. I don't want to walk in their shoes. I don't want to know what's going on. I can kind of feel and see from TikTok and everything else, but no, it's too much going on. They got to contend with technology. Then they got to contend with the people right in front of them. So we never know. So things are changing, and the information you provided has given us that awareness of knowing the differences between mental health, mental illness, knowing also that, hey, it's okay to just have your child, even you, to just come talk it out. Talk it out. All right, my last question for you, sister, is this. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, 1, Empowering Minds Counseling to be booming. 2, from day one, really what took me into mental health, military and veterans. Absolutely love them because, like I said, I've been in next month, be 19 years. So I really, really, truly want to open up some type of nonprofit for veterans. And because my passion is deeply, deeply with working with military families and veterans. And I want to open something up for them where I can see the families and where I can see the veterans, because it breaks my heart when I'm driving down the street and I see people saying, "Hey, I was a veteran," or they have on their hat or something, and they're not getting help. They're not seeking the help because some of them truly have a mental illness. And what you all may not know, we see them on the street and people say, "Oh, well, why are they on the street?" It's because they have nowhere to go. Like, they can't just go check themselves in. You may say we have the state hospital. It does not work like that. What we think it should be and how it works, it really doesn't. And like, those people are just there. I've had clients, the parent was like, "I don't know what to do because they won't take my child, or they won't take my sibling that's over 18." Because after that, they're like, it's nowhere to go. And I would love to open something where they can come and they can get the help they need. Because a lot of these mental illnesses, such as maybe schizophrenia, bipolar, you need medication to sustain. And sometimes they don't take the medication because of the side effects, and then they have to take another medication for those side effects. And some people just can't take all of that, but it's not their fault. They have this mental illness. And that's why I'm so passionate, because it's not your fault for some to have this mental illness. It's not your fault. No one chooses to be depressed, no one chooses to be anxious. But with the veterans, like I said, with that being my passion, I really want to focus on them and getting something started for them. It's probably going to take a minute. That's why it's a 5 year, and I'm pretty sure it's something that it's going to be a lot detailed behind it. But that's what I would like to do. So
Yes, yes, yes. Listen, you heard her heart, you heard her posture, you hear her passion. So know that she is there and she cares. Connect with LaPortia on Facebook, LaPortia Todd Jackson, and on IG, I'm LaPortia 1986. Look for more information about Empowering Minds coming soon, so that you can be geared up and ready to be one of those many clients, or pay this information forward to someone who can use it. If this is not for you, totally understand, and that is absolutely great. But if you know somebody, say something. That age old. You see something, say something. Okay, that part. The gift of giving. Don't be stingy. We don't like stingy energy. And as my little ones say, glow, sharing, sharing is caring, even though she don't pick it up on herself, but she wants you to share that part. And I will even speak from personal experience, my struggles. And then my baby's only 8, but I will tell you, she's been on the phone with her aunt, even 1,000 miles away, because she just needed somebody to talk to. And mama was not it. You understand? So I get it and I understand. And I thank you, Higgins, for being there and being a part. He said, I might need you to come down and you challenge, yes, to give a class. Absolutely. And this part right here, if you guys missed it and you're going to look at the replay, go right ahead because we're about to get wrapped up. But our other sister said, hey, therapists do not fix people. I love that. I wrote it down too, sister. They are not mechanics. They empower and provide you with the tools to overcome your mental illness. Yes. Listen, I've got to the point where I now embrace my mental health and my illnesses, my diagnosis. But I was not like that dang big thick book at all, period, whatsoever. Because it's undaunting, to see it and then have somebody put you in these categories and stuff like this. To me, as the patient, it was really undaunting. Like, wow, all of this, you know. But and it made me feel really kind of bad because I was embarrassed. But it's nothing to be embarrassed about. I rather be here embarrassed than to not be here. Period. And so because I was not almost here, I can say that. And there's some people that we know that is not here today. Period. So thank you, sister. Thank you so much. You
You're
got
so welcome.
look at all the comments that have been shared from everyone pouring out and receiving the knowledge that you have given. Thank each and every one of you for coming in, for tuning in. We absolutely love the support. Again, you can share this. You can share, you can tag people in the comments, put at such and such, whatever, so they can come and they can see it as well. so they can get the awareness. They can know the information, the difference between mental health and mental illness. And this is Mental Health Awareness Month. This is where you want to get it from. You want to be able to capture any resources that you have, period, to help you or to serve someone else that's needing it. Okay? All right. So as we get ready to close out, y'all know how we do that. Call to action was simple. Y'all put it in the comments. Tag somebody so they can see it just like you saw it. Don't be trying to tell them about it. No, I want them to see it just like you saw it, straight up from the source, from the mouth. Don't try to tell them about it. Let them see it. So tag them in the comments. That's my first call to action to you. My next one is this. Because simply it's Thankful Thursday. Be grateful. If you haven't wrote down a gratitude today, take the time out. It's going to take maybe 5 seconds to think about what you are thankful for. That has helped me along my mental health journey, is just being able to be thankful, to say affirmations, to put them up on the stick board, and to actually know what feelings are all about too. All of that great stuff, right? It comes together. But I am truly grateful for my sister. I'm truly grateful that she has the passion to help people. Yes, and it's not about the money, honey. No, it is just the heart posture and just who she is. And anyone who knows her knows she's a servant leader. And y'all know that service to many leads to greatness. And she's way on that path to being greater than great. As she used to say, still say it. I know how to get ready. I was born ready.
I was born ready.
All right. So my last one to each and every one of you, if you are in a position to do so, if you're driving, you can do a letter, but we want you to put your hands up in the air, just like Simon says, raise them all the way up in the air. Wave your hands in the air, I'm just kidding. Take now in crisscross form in front of you. Now you have your right hand. We want you to place it on your left shoulder. We want you to take your left hand and place it on your right shoulder. Now we want you to give yourself a big old squeeze. Consider yourself hugged and loved from virtually, because listen, if someone didn't tell you today that you were loved, we just did. If someone didn't give you a hug today, we just gave you a hug virtually. Feel the love and lots of hugs and kisses from us to you, because it's the little things that a lot of people take for granted that some people don't get and you get all the time. So that is what we wanted to commit to you, and we want you to absolutely write down your gratitude and make sure that you put something in the comments to tag someone that can actually benefit from watching this live. Portia, do you have any closing comments?
No, well, actually, yes, just like she said, please, if you see something, say something. If you feel something, say something. Talk to your neighbor, ask someone how they're doing, just smile. There are a million kind people in the world, but if you can't find one, be one. Sometimes all it takes is a smile or a hug. So you all have a great day, and thank you so much for joining in.
Yes, a million kind of people in the world. They might not find one, but you could be one. That was awesome. All right, everybody, take care, be blessed, and enjoy the rest of your Thankful Thursday. We look forward to seeing you again on Real Talk of Real Women Grinding as we continue to talk about mental health awareness this month. Bye.
Bye.